NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the AFC Divisional Playoff. The Houston Oilers versus the Denver Broncos.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mile High Stadium. First, the weather. Perfect. Temperature 35 degrees, and look, possibility of snow. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen, and we have a sense of urgency here with both quarterbacks.
Warren Moon is rich. Warren Moon is famous. Warren Moon has set NFL records. Warren Moon has been man of the year. What he lacks is a championship south of the Canadian border. For John Elway, arguably the most famous man in the Rocky Mountains, he has been the winningest quarterback since 1984, but he too lacks a championship ring. One of these people is going to go forward today. The other is going to be left behind.
And you can tell from the crowd there is a home field advantage.
Well, the record 65-20, the best record in the National Football League since Dan Reeves has been the head coach. They have almost like a Boston Garden advantage, if you believe in that sort of superstition. They do here in the Mile High City.
The Houston Oilers have won the toss. They will be receiving. Pat Coleman and Alan Pinkett are the two return men. And David Treadwell will be kicking off. And we are underway in Denver. High and short. And taken at the 17-yard line by Pat Coleman. And he returns near the 30-yard line. We'll take a look at the Houston offense to set it up. That offensive line of Maggs, Munchak, Matthews, Dawson, and Williams. Backs and receivers. The run and shoot, this is what we're going to see all day long, featuring the Fab Four: Haywood Jeffries, Drew Hill, Ernest Givens, and Curtis Duncan. Oilers from their own 30-yard line, first down. Drew Hill in motion. Moon goes deep. Jeffries has it inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. 50 yards on the opening play.
John, this is exactly what Warren Moon was excited about. He said that they were going to come with some inside blitzes and they were going to go man for man. And finally this year, he was going to be able to go up top. It's a straight streak route by Jeffries, and he catches it for a 50-yard gain, picking on Charles Dimry, somebody who's not normally in the lineup as a result of the injury to Wyman Henderson.
First down, Houston at the Denver 21-yard line. Drew Hill in motion again. Moon looks right, Cox, plenty of time, end zone, incomplete. Drew Hill, the intended receiver. It will be second down back at the 21-yard line.
One of the things we're going to be exploring throughout the game is the fact that they had started in that three-man front, and as you can see there, he had plenty of time to throw. That's a nice throw, and Drew, I know, feels like he could have come up with that one.
Let's check in with the Denver defense. They call it the Tiger. It's a form of the nickel. Two linebackers are actually down linemen. That's Fletcher and Mecklenburg. Cragen is in there as the nose tackle. Brooks and Kroll are the other two. And then in the secondary, as you can see, 6 defensive backs with Lilo Lang replacing the injured Wyman Henderson. That means that Dimry will move out on the corner. Lang will move inside. Here is the handoff to Lorenzo White. And a gain of 6 to the 15-yard line. It's going to be third down and 4 as Michael Brooks makes the tackle.
Well, Michael Brooks has been the leading tackler for the Denver Broncos this year, 153 tackles. And I think that Wade Phillips was concerned with the fact that Michael Brooks might not get into this ball game because of the fact that Houston is obviously a predominantly passing team. However, because they're going with a 3-2 set, they have both he and Mike Kroll in as inside linebackers.
Lorenzo White, the remaining back for the Oilers' 3rd and 4 opening drive of the ball game. Moon, end zone, diving reception, touchdown. Haywood Jeffries, 15 yards.
Well, pretty soon Haywood Jeffries is going to get excited. I don't know when. But that was some kind of catch he made on the inside. And once again, Warren Moon right on the mark with the 3 throws he's had thus far. My guess is the flag in the end zone is going to be because he celebrated a little bit too much.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal celebration, 84 on the offense. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
My guess is that he created a little bit too much wind when he was waving his arms. I don't understand that. In a game of this magnitude, it would have to be something like a double backflip to call that, but Houston's going to have to put up with the 5-yard penalty. I mentioned Warren Moon. The second throw was right on the mark to Hill as well, and this is exactly what Wade Phillips feared, is that Warren Moon would be hot.
Del Greco with the extra point. 70 yards in 4 plays, 1:46.
Haywood Jeffries, the century pass catcher, 100 catches this year, and that's why, right there. Warren Moon puts it right in his hands, spikes. Take a look at how excited he is. The ref says that's too much, but my guess is Jeffries doesn't care. We're up 7-zip.
Because you believe these trucks shouldn't carry a spare tire.
It's the right beer now.
Because up here, crisp-tasting beer just comes naturally.
It's the right beer now.
Because when the whole gang gets together, there's no room for filling up. So reach for the Silver Bullet, the beer that won't weigh you down.
It's the right beer now. Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
It has a dual overhead camshaft design. 4 valves per cylinder. And a responsive double wishbone suspension. The Acura Integra. An idea that began with a Formula One race car and has been evolving ever since.
Dear USA, there's a city with houses made of ginger, where enchanted princes dream. Gardens grow with living stones, and heroes come to play. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
The big play of that last drive was the 50-yarder to Haywood Jeffries. You can see right here, Dimry is going to funnel him to the inside, anticipating Dennis Smith is going to give some help. But once he backpedals, he's trying to read Warren Moon's eyes, and Warren does one of the best jobs in the NFL of looking safeties off. You're going to see him backpedal and not take any side. That's going to enable Jeffries to get inside Dimry for the 50-yard gain.
That, by the way, only the 3rd time.
The 3rd time this season they have scored on the first drive of the game. First game of the season and last week against the Jets.
On the return, here is Alton Montgomery. Across the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Broncos now down 7-0, and their first opportunity on offense. And that offensive line, there is a change at center. Keith Karts is out with a thigh injury. Dave Waddell has replaced him. Backs and receivers, of course, led by John Elway. When they go to their 3 wide, they call it their 11. Then Sewell comes out. Vance Johnson comes in. Today they want to keep Gaston Green in for the threat of the run. And Elway comes out throwing. Flag is down. Elway gets the pass on to Clarence Kay, the tight end, just as he was going down. And we'll go back and check out the flags.
Well, they called a tripping there. Ray Childress is off to a good start. We had a chance to see O.J. at the beginning of the telecast mention that the heart and soul of the Houston Oilers has been that man right there. 16 tackles for loss on the season for Ray Childress. He gets tripped, and the referee saw it.
We talked about the opening drive of the Houston Oilers. Well, the Broncos have allowed only 4 first-quarter touchdowns all regular season.
Tripping, 63, offense. Still first down.
On Sean Farrell.
Sean Farrell has not played much of the season. He has been injured, and so he really only has about 2 or 3 opportunities to have played thus far. You can see right there the leg comes around. He nails Lee Williams, and the official right on top of it. And what is that jumping on top of it? Boy, oh boy.
So the ball back at the 16-yard line. It is first down and 20. And here is Gaston Green. Green, one of the truly great stories of this football season. He's going to pick up only a yard. It'll be second down and 19. That Houston defense, the front 7 with Lee Williams replacing Doug Smith, who is out with that rib injury. And then we'll go to their secondary. Dishman, Johnson, McDowell, and Bo Orlando. They go to a spider, and In that formation, Darrell Lewis and Steve Jackson come in. That is a form of the nickel that we will see. They call it the spider. They like to catch them within the web. Elway to throw. This is a screen as he sets up deep. He wanted to set up a middle screen. He dives across the 30 to the 32-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 3 for the first down, maybe 4.
Well, the defensive line for the Houston Oilers forces a match. You can see Sean Jones going against Harvey Salem, who comes in specifically to pass block. They push him out of the pocket. Now, Elway does a nice job of getting the run. But in all honesty, I think Jim Eddy has to be happy with what he sees there in the pass rush, because they're just not giving Elway any time thus far to throw the ball.
And there is Jim Eddy, defensive coordinator of the Oilers. We talked to him last time. I said, "Are you excited?" He said, "I've never been so pumped up in my life."
Yeah, I was ready to put some pads on it.
Sewell and Rivers are in, and the inside handoff is to the rookie Reggie Rivers, the free agent, and he will pick up the first down. A flag. We have a flag dropped at the 43-yard line. I was about to say pick the first down, depending upon the mark, because it is right at the marker.
Well, this is foolish. After the play, Ricky Nattiel and Richard Johnson got into a little bit of an argument, and I think Nattiel may have poked him in the face or something, or said something the official didn't like, because you can see Richard Johnson was jumping up and down, pointing the other direction.
And this is the point of the season. You can't afford to make those kind of mistakes.
No, that's really a mental error on Ricky's part. He can't do that.
The loser goes home for the rest of the holidays.
They're waiting to see the name, and it is going to be a little bit short.
Yeah.
So my guess is that Houston's going to refuse the penalty.
Let's make it fourth down.
You know, when we talked with Vance Johnson yesterday, he mentioned that there was going to be a lot of trash talking out there. But you know, in a game of this magnitude, as you mentioned, there's just no way that you can get that involved in it to where you cost your team 15 yards.
Dan Reeves, he's used to being here. This is his 41st postseason game as a player or as a coach.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me that this man has gone through 20...
84 offense. We will penalize 15 yards, and it's fourth down.
Dead ball foul. It was after the down had been blown dead.
Well, that's interesting.
Play had been blown dead.
That's certainly a gift for the Houston Oilers there, because that's going to give them much better field position.
So Mike Horan will be kicking to Pat Coleman.
Coming back to Dan Reeves, he was my running back coach my first year in the league in Dallas in 1978, and it always amazes me to realize that that's 27 straight training camps that man has been to. Man, oh man.
Houston leading 7-0. The temperature 35 degrees, no wind. Here's the pressure. He gets it off. And it will go out of bounds just outside the 35 mark at the 37-yard line. Back in a moment.
It's a fast-paced, gotta-go world we live in. So, why not sit back and enjoy the ride in a luxury performance car designed to keep up with it? The 5-cylinder, 20-valve Acura Vigor.
Word on the street was they were a bad bet. An American institution, 3 days shy of extinction. Only one investment firm, Dean Witter, saw past the problems to the real value of the company. And a rumble was heard round Wall Street as the last American motorcycle company came roaring back to life with a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. From Main Street to Wall Street, at Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
This hand holds 2 reasons for you to can the leading aerosol deodorant. 1, better deodorant protection. 2, a better way to get it. New Shore Pro Pump. Better deodorant protection, more concentrated than an aerosol, and a better way to get it, with pumping power. So more goes where you need it, not into thin air. That's 2 powerful reasons to switch to new Pro Pump. But I'm only going to tell you once. For better deodorant protection, can the can, pump the Pro.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Starter. Look for the stars and you'll find Starter. By Acura Automobiles, experience precision-crafted performance. By GGE, telecommunications consultant to the NFL. And by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Houston, first down, their own 37-yard line, second offensive possession. They lead 7-0. Moon rolls out left. He is going to keep, has the first down and about 4 or 5 more yards. 48-yard line of Denver. Brooks was chasing him. He scrambles for 15.
Again, give credit to the offensive line of the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon in the run and shoot takes his 3 steps and he cuts off half the field. He's going right, but they give him enough time to come back and go to the left, and there's nobody there. And Warren Moon at age 35, I don't know what his 40 time is, but it was plenty enough here to get the first down.
Remember earlier in the season when we talked with him, he had talked to his mother, Pat, in Los Angeles. Said, had given him some advice. That advice was don't throw into double coverage. Last night he said she didn't give him advice for this game, but she was so nervous watching the Jet game that she couldn't enjoy it. They taped it, she watched it that night, and she liked it the second time. The touchdown scoring, Haywood Jeffries with the reception.
One of the things that the Houston Oilers do is that they alter your defense. Here's the normal starting lineup for the Denver Broncos. Warren Powers out. Ron Holmes out. Wyman Henderson, due to injury, is out. Mike Kroll has to go to inside linebacker. Carl Mecklenburg goes to end. Simon Fletcher goes to end. And the result of that is that some of the best people that they want to have out there on the field are not there. And they have some mismatches in the middle, particularly with Dimry and Robbins, number 48, who is a strong safety by trade.
We had an official's timeout. One of the hand warmers had fallen off of one of the Denver Broncos. Haywood Jeffries scoring the touchdown, has 3 receptions, 72 yards already as Lorenzo White will pick up the first down as he goes to the 37-yard line. He needed 2, and he got 3. Steve Atwater, who's going to the Pro Bowl, along with his other safety, Dennis Smith, for the Denver Broncos, makes the tackle.
Well, Wade Phillips can't be the happiest man right now. Warren Moon has started off hot, and even when they had the good coverage, he goes with a 15-yard run, and now it appears that they're able to integrate the run as well. They definitely have Denver's defense on its heels.
Mecklenburg with a stinger comes out. Ron Holmes replaces him at that defensive right end. First down, Houston, Denver 37-yard line. Little play action fake. Moon has lots of time, throws underneath the coverage to Gibbons. It is incomplete.
Now at the last minute, the official is going to call holding on Mike Munchak. Mike Kroll came with a good rush and almost reached out and got Warren Moon, but apparently Munchak had a handful of jersey.
Flag dropped back at the 48-yard line.
Holding, 63, offense. Good first down.
Mike Munchak, for the 7th time, was named to the Pro Bowl for the Houston Oilers. In fact, they feel that this is going to be their next Hall of Famer, the former Penn Stater. But he's got his hands full with Mike Kroll, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, this is what the official sees. See the left hand right there in the jersey? He pushes him away, and actually, if he was going to call holding, it should have been about 4 steps earlier when he had that handful of 5 in number 51.
Last year, Houston, the most penalized team in the NFL. This past season, they really cut it down. This is a screen, and it was saturated by the Broncos. And so Moon was in reality simply throwing it away. It'll be second down and 20 at the 47-yard line. Good defensive play by the Denver Broncos.
Again, the screen immediately. I was going to say, Charlie, again, in the judgment of the officials, they're going to see, you're going to see Lorenzo White off to the right of your screen. He is in the vicinity of this throw, but clearly you can see that he's throwing that ball away. And if the official feels that way, he can certainly make the call, but in this case, he opted not to.
That is the referee's call only. He is always behind the quarterback, and he reads that through the quarterback. Second down and 20. Here is White, and Lorenzo to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up 6 yards on the play. Michael Brooks and Tyrone Braxton on the tackle.
Again, you might say to yourself, Warren, how come you're not throwing the ball downfield when you have so much yardage to pick up? In Mile High Stadium with the thinner air, the range of Aldo Greco is going to be that much longer. And so even though this seems like somewhat of a no-brainer play, now if they can get another 6 or 7 yards, even if they don't get the first down, they can still be in field goal position.
Mecklenburg is back in on defense, 3rd down and 14. The pass is complete to Gibbons. Gibbons has the first down at the 15-yard line, a gain of 26 on the play.
One of the things that Warren Moon does as well as any quarterback in the National Football League is he sees the matchups and he is going to find the weak points. Lilo Lang may be a competent cornerback, but he has not had the opportunity this season. This is his first start, and he's going against somebody as competent as Ernest Gibbons, who last week against the Jets had 2 big touchdown catches.
With the Fab Four of Houston and the run and shoot, they are known more for being successful indoors on the turf. When we talked to Warren Moon yesterday, he said this is fast grass.
And that makes a big difference where the Fab Four is concerned because of the timing of the routes.
Flag is down. Gibbons has it at the 6, back to the 10. But we'll check out the 2 flags. Michael Brooks with the tackle. And so penalties thwarting the Oilers on this, their second offensive drive. Houston leads it by a score of 7-0 with 7:11, 2 lucky numbers, time remaining.
Offense, 2 men moving. Still first down.
One of the impressive things, strange enough, Charlie, about Ernest Gibbons is the fact that at 5'9", 172, he catches a lot of his balls in the middle of the field. And right there you can see he does not lack courage when it comes to coming across the middle.
He has that shield because that broken nose he had a few weeks ago, it kind of curlicues it. I can't even breathe through the left side of it. He's going to have plastic surgery after the season is over. Here is White. Has 4 to the 16. It'll be 2nd down and 11. You were talking about, well, you were talking for a moment about the thin air here at Mile High Stadium. That, of course, everybody has talked about for years. And Dan Reeves, the head coach of Denver, has a unique look.
He says he knows the air is thin on Saturdays, more so even than Sundays. It gets really thin for wide receivers that have to run a lot. Boy, was that tongue-in-cheek or what? It's amazing some of the little subtle psych jobs that these coaches do on one another, isn't it?
Warren Moon, 5 of 7, 104 yards and a touchdown. The Oilers dominating the early going. Gibbons at the 9, and he is brought down after a gain of 7 by Tyrone Braxton.
Notice there at the end of the play, Ernest Gibbons knew where that was coming from. He knew it was a zone defense. He knew he was going to get hit. He eases up and takes the shot. Here makes it very interesting coming on 3rd down. The Oilers tops in the AFC at converting. A lot of that due to the fact that their 3rd down offense is on the field every single down. Right. And the Broncos leading the AFC in preventing. That's a very impressive 31.1%.
Ernest Gibbons, when we talked to him yesterday, also said in the playoffs, I like to take it up just one more notch. Houston 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions in the ball game. Moon looking to the end zone. All alone is Drew Hill at age 35. Planning to retire next year. He may stay around for a few more years.
Well, this is the savvy of the veteran quarterback. The Broncos come with the blitz from the outside. Houston is able to pick it up, and once again, it's a mismatch. Dennis Smith is certainly an all-pro safety. But take a look. There you can see the blitz coming from the corner. Dennis Smith over. Oh, my. Guesses to the outside. He was wrong. Hill to the inside. 6 points for the Oilers. Easy money.
And the extra point is good. And Houston moves out in front. 14-0 with 5:16 left to go in the first.
you'll find...
To the dismay of many, there are only 24 hours in a day.
Load's almost done.
So before you head off on a sales call...
Wait. Let me see the bottom. You can go in now.
Before you begin to grapple with a business letter...
Oh, please, change the bottom.
GTE would like to suggest a slightly more productive alternative.
I'm sorry?
Now, you're going to want to sit down for this one. The phone. Because if time is money, this is a bank.
When you rent from Hertz on vacation, you get more than free unlimited mileage. You get the company behind the car, so that the miles aren't just free, they're worry-free. All over America, Hertz treats you right with dependable service at low rates you'll like. Now, with all those free miles ahead of you, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and cough medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
All right. No. The man you're looking at right there, Drew Hill, 4,000-yard seasons past the age of 30. He said he's going to retire next year. Why?
That's right.
The man is doing an outstanding job. On the other side of the field, the Denver Broncos have to be searching a little bit, wondering what they can do to stop this Houston Oilers offense.
Drew Hill said, I want to go away on my terms and not when somebody else tells me. Here's Montgomery from the 6, to the 20, to the 30. He returns to the 35-yard line, where Darrell Lewis makes the tackle.
The Denver Broncos came with a corner blitz on both sides, but see here at the top of your screen, Lilo Lang is going to come, and Lorenzo White is going to pick him up. Now, Dennis Smith has to come up and take it, and the normal blitz route is an out. Watch when Dennis Smith takes a look. He's going to guess on the out route, but Drew Hill is going to run a post, and as a result, Dennis Smith is a dead duck.
First down, Denver. And the pitch to Gaston Green. Green has the first down. He'll pick up 12 yards on the play.
It might indicate a little desperation on the part of the Broncos. They come with 2 corner blitzes over here. Lang, and from the other side, you're going to see Atwater, but he gets picked up. Houston Oilers are doing not only a marvelous job of running pass routes, but in their blitz pickups as well. Give a lot of credit to the likes of Maggs and Williams, the tackles for the Houston Oilers.
First down, Denver, their own 47-yard line. Houston leads it 14-0. Just under 4.5 minutes to go. We're in the first quarter. And again, it is Gaston Green. When we talked to him yesterday, I asked him, what was your strength? He said, I like to run over people.
Yeah,
he started laughing.
At 192 pounds. Who's he kidding? Great tackle there by Richard Johnson from the cornerback position. Take a look at the numbers compiled in his career up to 1991. He was pretty much of a forgotten man for the Los Angeles Rams. John Robinson feeling like that he could not go through an entire season. And as you mentioned when we talked with him, the big satisfaction out of this year was not the 1,000 yards, not the Pro Bowl, but to prove that he belonged in this league.
Interesting, wasn't Drew Hill a forgotten man for the Rams organization?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Elway to the tight end, Clarence Tay, close to the first down. First time that the Bronco offense has been on track to the ball game. Marcus Robertson with the tackle.
Give a lot of credit here to John Elway in his play calling. They're down 14-0, and easily he could panic and start throwing every down and going downfield. But he realized there's a lot of time left in the game. The fake counter boot, he comes out to the right, gets the ball to Clarence Kay, who's not exactly the best pass catcher in the world, but John Elway wants to utilize everybody at his disposal.
And remember, he told us yesterday that he likes to script the first 10 or 12 plays and then kind of go from there. And just about half an inch from the first down. And he said this man, Dan Reeves, in reality, because of the changes that they have in their offense and what they're going to do against Houston, and because of the players that have to come in for the formation, will probably go back to calling more of the plays than John Elway. Third down and an inch. Elway to quarterback sneak, and he does, as he just kind of surges over the left side. He's going to look for an opening over the flags. They're down underneath. Now we're going to have some major league pushing and shoving.
Well, the last couple of plays, I've noticed that some people have been jumping on the pile. In particular, I noticed that I believe it was one of the Waddell brothers who was jumping on top of the pile at the end, and that's creating some of the arguments.
79 defense. First down.
That's on Ray Childress. Bad back, bad ribs and all. And he does not agree with it. Meanwhile, Lamar Lathan is saying his teammate, you can't do this in these kind of games. He pushes him away.
That's going to be very hard to see this in the middle there, but right there at the end, there's Waddell on top of him. He hits him in the face first, and then Childress grabs the face mask. Inevitably, it's the second guy that gets caught.
And Houston has a timeout. We'll step aside for a moment.
Images presented by Honda. Let the debate rage over which team benefits from these conditions. The extremes of the elements make their own rules. In the Nature Dome, there is no home field advantage.
It was designed to run like a watch. Just strap it on.
Next Saturday, it's two great college traditions on NBC. First, Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Then, it's Heisman Trophy runner-up Casey Weldon, Houston's Top Gun David Klingler, Indiana's spectacular Vaughn Dunbar, and the nation's top senior All-Americans at the Kodak Hula Bowl. All next Saturday on NBC.
Heads up by Jack Pardee to call that timeout. The Houston Oilers defense had lost a little bit of composure, and the Denver Broncos were driving. That's the experience of a man who has been Coach of the Year in 4 different leagues.
Gaston Green is the ball carrier. A gain of 4 to the 32. It will be second down and 6. And when you factor in that 4, Houston now total yardage 140. Another flag is down.
Now that's Richard Johnson. That was really foolish. This is the very reason that they called a timeout. Now you can see Jack Pardee on the sideline screaming at these people to say, you can't do this. Right in front of the official, Richard Johnson pushes the rookie, Derek Russell. You can't throw the arm in front of the official's face. Of course he's going to call that.
Personal foul. 23 defense. First down.
Then after he makes the call, Richard Johnson starts pointing at the official, and he actually pushed him in the shoulder. Johnson's got to be careful because that could have been something he could have got thrown out of the game for.
Denver's play selection thus far, 6 runs, 1 pass. Oh, that's amazing. And here's the 7th run. Gaston Green. Why is Denver not throwing the ball more?
I tell you what, never mind that. Officials are having every play now for the last 5. They've had to step in between people. Now they have to get this thing under control right here so it's a football game and not a slugfest. And you got to give a little credit to the rookie, Derek Russell, for inciting a veteran like Johnson to do something that foolish. Vance Johnson told us yesterday that there was going to be some trash talking, and that's exactly what's occurred here.
Major trash. Well, the officials hold their comments. Back to my question, why is Denver running and not throwing?
Well, I think that they're trying to get their bearings.
Game clock to 2:35. 2:35.
So we'll reset the game clock that was down to 2:21 back to 2:35.
In answer to your question, Charlie, I think that one of the things they don't want to do here is, first of all, they want to get Gaston Green involved in the game. They know that the front four of the Houston Oilers can pin their ears back and come. And if they don't establish a running game early, if it becomes a situation where they have like a 3-to-1 pass to run situation, then the front four of the Houston Oilers is going to wear down the offensive line of the Broncos.
Gaston Green 5 carries, 18 yards, and Steve Sewell is now back with him. Second and 10. 2 yards on the draw. Gaston Green to the 15. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Be sure to be with us here on NBC tomorrow. We will start it all with NFL Live, and OJ will have a feature on Bruce Smith. And that, of course, to set up the big game tomorrow, the AFC Divisional Playoff between Kansas City and Buffalo. And we understand the weather in Buffalo is nice but cold.
I'll be interested to see what the 2-week layoff after a loss has done to the Buffalo Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs are on a roll.
3rd down and 8, 15-yard line. Denver with 4 wide receivers. Flags are down. Elway to the 11-yard line. But there are markers on both sides of the field.
Charlie, Lamar Latham was offsides, and the thing that's foolish about that is Lamar Latham was not even in the blitz. Lamar Latham is trying to draw Ken Lanier offsides, but Ken Lanier is a veteran player. He jumps up and then comes back into coverage. And in being so foolish, he jumps offsides, and that's really a mental error on the part of Lamar Latham.
57, defense.
The penalty takes the ball to the 10.
Watch there in the middle of your screen. Watch 57. Now he comes back. He's not really rushing. See, he has the coverage. He's not rushing at all. He's just trying to draw Lanier off sides. And unfortunately for him, that enables the Denver Broncos to get a free play.
That is the 6th penalty against Houston in the first quarter. 3rd down and 3. Houston cleaning up their act this year over the past with fewer penalties. We can't tell it today. Touchdown, Vance Johnson. Treadwell with the point after attempt. Bad snap high. Kubiak could not get it down. It is no good off to the left. It was a bad snap from Dave Weidel.
One of the things to make a point here is that Dave Weidel is starting for Keith Cards. This is not a normal situation where he just comes in to snap. He has been playing. So take a look at his hands. His hands are still padded up. And as a result of his hands being padded up, he doesn't get the snap that he wants. The laces are towards Treadwell. He hooks it left.
And so with 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the first quarter, it is Houston 14, Denver 6 as we go back to the touchdown.
Well, Vance Johnson said that he was going to have some special plays today, and he was going to do some magic things on 3rd down, and he said he flat out wanted Chris Dishman. Well, he got him. Man-for-man coverage. He comes in on the slant. Dishman too far behind. A little bit of funk at the end. Touchdown, Denver Broncos.
And Vance did point out to us that he has been the Broncos' leading receiver over the last 5 games of the regular season. And he was very proud of that fact. And wanted us to mention.
One of the things that the Houston Oilers wanted to do, and he's got a normal haircut for a change. I find that interesting. Doing some painting, he told us, very happy with himself now. He admitted to us, I thought interesting, that he had taken some therapy.
Yeah, and said he's very happy with his home life. That has made all of the difference in the world. Treadwell kicks out. Pickett is the return man to the 15. And down at the 20-yard line by Lilo Lang.
Right here you can see Vance Johnson over here is going to make a... Right here you're going to see Vance Johnson in the backfield is going to make a corner move on Dishman and then come back to the inside. Dishman bites on the corner move, and Vance Johnson able to cut inside for the 6.
Warren Moon in the first 10 minutes of the ball game completed 7 of 9 for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. third offensive possession for Houston from their own 20. Outside blitz pressure. Pass is complete to Curtis Duncan near the 30-yard line. Charles Dimry was there. That is the Bronco that they have been picking on and will continue to pick on. They find him wherever he is.
Well, Curtis Duncan is actually somewhat of the forgotten of the Fab Four. He was the only one that did not catch at least 70 passes, but that's a nice out route he has right there. And as you mentioned, Dimry and Lang are the people that they're going to pick on today.
Second down. About half a yard to go for the first down. 30 seconds left in the first period. Lorenzo White will pick up the first down as he goes to the 33-yard line.
Let me tell you, the running game can be incredibly effective when you keep coming up 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 1. And thus far, that's all Lorenzo White has had to do is 2nd and 2s and 3rd and 1s. And those are easy first downs.
And the quarterbacks love to call that play.
Yeah.
So we'll take the countdown to the end of the first quarter to make it official. Houston 14, Denver 6. Back with the second period in a moment.
A mistake was made. Okay, we forgot. We overlooked it.
Say you need something sent overnight. There are a few companies you can call. But say you need it Saturday morning, guaranteed. There are two. But only one is so efficient.
Bobby, just give me a couple of minutes.
They get it there on time for far less, which is why to some, there is only one. UPS.
2 minutes, get him up. Yeah, right. 12. Who's 12? Yeah, let's go get him up.
You've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the Rock. The Prudential Rock Solid.
This winter, sport's biggest stars are on NBC. Michael leads the world champs against Isaiah and the Pistons. Detroit heads to Boston to battle Larry Bird and the Celtics. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Bulls take on the Lakers. And a day of shooting stars at the All-Star Game. The NBA's just beginning on NBC. Come fly with us.
The Denver fans, here's the man, I think when in the 5th grade, he called it his senior year.
I thought that was your son, for goodness sakes. There's a funky look. These fans really get into it. The 176th straight sellout here in Denver. And take a look at that home record. Best in the NFL since Dan Reeves took over as head coach for the Broncos in 1981.
Houston from their own 33-yard line. The sun breaks through the overcast. And Lorenzo White is broken down by Simon Fletcher. No gain. It'll be second down and 10.
One of the things that Houston has done effectively, obviously, with the 2 touchdown drives, is take the crowd out of the game. But as we show some of the faces throughout this orange and blue stadium, if somehow they were to hold the Houston Oilers here and make them punt, then the crowd very much gets back into it.
Lorenzo White, 5 carries, 17 yards. Told us he loves to run on grass. You can fall down. You do not have to worry about hurting yourself. Boone slips away from the pressure, sets and throws. Pass is complete. This is Gibbons who goes out of bounds after 27 yards. Dennis Smith hit him inside the 40-yard line. Jeff Mills was the man who slipped around Lorenzo White, was putting the pressure on.
People forget Lorenzo White completely misses Mills, and people forget that Warren Moon was one of the best running quarterbacks when he was up with the Edmonton Eskimos, throwing for 5,000 yards a season. Nice athletic play that he makes to get to Gibbons. Now Gibbons is just going to run completely across the zone unmolested. No chuck at the line of scrimmage, nobody there in the middle. He hesitates there, assuming there's somebody, but there isn't. And Gibbons with a big gain for the Oilers.
And like most of the teams against Houston, they sit in that zone, force the throw underneath, then try to punish these little receivers. Moon with pressure throws to Jeffries, who has scored one of the 2 touchdowns for the Oilers. Just inside the 30-yard line. It is close to the first down.
Take a look at the middle of the field if you can. Watch how when the Fab Four take off, everything gets spread out. That middle of the field is wide open. A simple delay route by Haywood Jeffries, there's no way that should be getting 10 or 11 yards. They have to have some people in the middle who are going to catch Jeffries and Gibbons and the like coming across the middle.
Defensively, Carl Mecklenburg back out of the ballgame. Ron Holmes has replaced him for the second time. It is second down for Houston. About a half yard to go at the Denver 29. There's Mecklenburg on the sideline.
Why is he on the sideline?
Coach's decision is what we hear. He is not injured. Moon has pressure, steps away. It is intercepted. We're going to have a flag down and a face mask called against Denver. This is Atwater down the sideline. Atwater is out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. But there is the marker. It's going to be a face mask against the Broncos.
We get a chance to see it. Warren is fading back just to show his poise. He stays in the pocket, and even though he gets his face mask grabbed, he still stays with it. It was an incidental face mask, but the official does a nice job of catching it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 52 defense. Face down.
Johnny Greer has had some pivotal calls today. Warren Moon standing in the pocket. Right there, Ron Holmes. There he pulls the face mask back, throws it. Now the ball is completely gone. No reason for Jeff Mills to do that. Actually, Johnny Greer missed the initial face mask.
He missed the face mask, and he got this.
And he calls Mills here for spiking Warren Moon.
There's too many over-anxious, dumb plays going on.
Well, one of the things we talked about, if you saw the tease on NFL Live, was the infusion of youth for the Denver Broncos. Well, that's all well and good to have youthful exuberance, but with youth comes mistakes. And that one right there is a crucial mistake for Denver.
Moon now, 10 of 12, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. First down at the Bronco 15. 3 flags are down. The pass is incomplete. Gibbons the intended receiver. This is one of those ball games that every time the ball is snapped, first thing you look for is the flag.
There have been a lot of them. It appears that the left tackle moved when Gibbons was in motion.
Ball start, 78 offense, prior to the snap.
That's Don Max, the left tackle.
Don Maggs rocks back a little bit. What Denver's been trying to do, you can see he has to set up at that angle. See right there, just a little bit. Flexes the right leg, but that's enough.
First down and 15. The ball now at the Denver 20-yard line. Penalty yardage, 90 already total. Houston leads 14-6. It's over 12 and a half left in the first half. Moon, lots of time. Looks left, comes back right to Duncan. To the 9-yard line. He will pick up 11, but remember he needed 15.
If you notice the number of different jersey numbers for the Denver Broncos in there, it's because Wade Phillips is trying to do anything he can to get a pass rush. Jeff Mills is in there. Now Brian Soche is in there. They're trying a number of different people to try to put some pressure on Moon, but it just isn't working. Right there, he's able. That was actually the 3rd read going to Curtis Duncan. But it's enough for the first down.
And Carl Mecklenburg back into that Denver Bronco defense. Second down and 4 at the 9-yard line. Gibbons is in motion. No pressure. Pass is complete to Duncan at the 6-yard line. It'll go for 3, so it's going to be still 3rd down and a yard. This time Demery was there to stop him.
At this point of the game, I'm interested, Charlie. Do you think this is 4-down territory? Because you know that the Houston Oilers do not have a 3 tight end set. They don't have a big bruising group to go in there. And more than likely, Denver, who has historically been one of the best goal line defenses in the National Football League, You know, if they stuff from here, I'll be interested to see the decision Pardee makes.
That is a tough decision.
You think it's too early in the game? You're on the road.
And if you throw for the touchdown, you can put him away. 3rd down and 1. Houston 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. Goes back right. Touchdown. Curtis Duncan. We'll never know if they would have kicked it on the 4th.
Let me say the names right now so you can appreciate them. Bruce Matthews, Mike Munchak, Doug Dawson, David Williams, and Don Maggs. One of the things that Jack Pardee said was that we have to improve our pass coverage. Curtis Duncan has all day. Look at that. It's an in route. He actually gets away with a little bit of a push. This is called a swirl. Comes in and swirls out. The 21st point is coming up for the Houston Oilers.
Good snap, good hold. Del Greco good. Houston 21, Denver 6. Back with a kickoff in a moment.
When you're the best, you can take a few knocks.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
With the best rust protection, Chevy full-size is America's best-selling truck. Chevy trucks.
Like a rock.
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last. Now it's easier to own a Chevy truck.
It was just another Saturday afternoon until those old guys came out of the woods with axes. Just when we thought it couldn't get any weirder, it did. They even brought their own music.
Awesome! Hey, fellas, how about a cold bud?
A bud? Obviously, we thought alike.
Oh, that's cold.
Jason Patrick.
When you come in, it can't be halfway.
Jennifer Jason Lee.
I can do what it takes.
2 cops going undercover.
Are you telling us to plant evidence?
Sometimes good work is accomplished in mysterious ways.
And going all the way.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
My job.
Rush, featuring music by Eric Clapton. Rated R. Starts Friday in select theaters.
Welcome back to Mile High Stadium. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen. We talked about the home field advantage. One of the things Warren Moon said, he wanted to take the crowd out of the ballgame.
Well, I think the way you do that is you go 13 for 15 for 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's one of the things that can give 75,000 people laryngitis.
That takes them out in a hurry, doesn't it? And the Oilers are 8-0 when scoring 21 or more points.
Interestingly enough, Charlie, heading into this game, Denver was the best in the AFC at point prevention, just a little bit over 14 a game.
Montgomery from the 4 to the 10, 15, needs a big return. A flag is down.
They're going to catch tight end Reggie Johnson for making a tackle on Mike Dumas.
So Johnny Greer and his umpiring crew have really got their work cut out for them. This, by the way, is not the regular crew.
38 on the receiving team. Still first down.
All the officials are graded by position for the playoff games. And so this crew coming together because they graded amongst the highest.
Well, let me tell you something. They're earning their money today.
They really are.
Really, I mean, not just the crucial calls that Johnny Greer has had to make, but the number of times when side judges and back judges and umpires have had to step between 280-pound people to stop the fisticuffs.
So with the penalty, Denver will start from their own 10-yard line. Denver's total offense is 59 yards. Elway looks left, comes back right, steps out of the grass. That rule no longer effective. Slides at the 15, and then was hit after the slide, and there is not a flag. There should be a flag on that play. Let's look at it again. Al Smith came down on it.
Charlie, I'm not so sure because John Elway was one of the few quarterbacks in the league who usually doesn't slide. If you remember earlier in the season when they defeated the Minnesota Vikings, he had a 15-yard run where he lowered his shoulder and ran over a guy.
Doesn't make any difference.
But how
slides here?
How is Al Smith supposed to know that the guy's going to go for the slide? He's not trying for a cheap shot. He's trying to hit number 7.
Elway 3 rushes, 22 yards.
That man had a tremendous season, by the way.
And actually, when you look at it again, he was dropping down to stop it.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll buy it.
Impressive numbers there for Al Smith. 143 tackles. Third time in his career he's had over 100.
Second and 6 at the 14. Here's Gaston Green around the corner right side. Has the first down. And he is out to the 28 of the 29-yard line. Derek Russell, a key block. He picks up 14 on the play. Dishman makes the tackle.
The Denver Broncos do a nice job of hooking William Fuller, the left defensive end. Watch coming at you. William Fuller gets hooked by Shannon Sharp, and that enables Gaston Green to get to the outside. Lamar Lathan, normally playing at the outside backer position, is back as an inside backer, and the result is that they're outnumbered. That's the exact same play that earlier in the game Gaston Green got a 12-yard gain.
Gaston Green with 1,000 yards plus. It cost him $1,200 taking his linemen to dinner. Gaston Green, Childress is right there. One more step and Childress could have taken the handoff.
Ray Childress is fired up. Look at him screaming at people. Except for that, he reminds me an awful lot of a great cowboy by the name of Bob Lilly. He guesses right on this play, cuts to the inside. That's his 17th tackle for loss this season.
It is second down and 13. 8:45 time remaining in the first half. Houston 21, Denver 6. Green has rushed for 31 yards in 8 carries.
I think that what he's been saying to all the opponents and his own teammates, I think he's talked more than he has in any time he's talked to any broadcasters. I mean, he's one of the least animated. Boy, can he play.
And it is incomplete. Was it Childress who got a hand on him?
I believe he could have. Ray Childress fired up along with Jerome Brown and Michael Dean Perry, one of the 3 best defensive tackles in football. You can see Wydell looking towards him. That's what they're looking for in the double team. They both want a piece of him. Comes up with that left hand. Oh,
got it with his elbow.
Look how low he threw that. I mean, Childress's vertical jump isn't that much. I mean, I know he's a great player, but he's not going to make anybody forget Spud Webb with his vertical.
Elway has thrown thus far with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Only 3 passes, 2 of 3, 18 yards. One, of course, that touchdown to Vance Johnson. Scrambles right. He throws downfield, and a flag is down. Michael Young was mugged by Steve Jackson.
Well, if you believe the concept that youth will be served, Steve Jackson has to have his head in the game, and that is that, look, it's going to be a difficult catch anyway. The last thing you want to do is interfere with it, but now there's some question as to whether or not the receiver went out of bounds first. And if he did, then that will negate the interference penalty.
There is no infraction on the play. The receiver has stepped out of bounds.
I don't think Johnny Greer is going to win any popularity contests here in Denver, but sure enough, take a look. Right there, heels Michael Young. Now when he comes back to the ball, that's a good call by the official. He's right on top of it.
Excellent call. So many, that call was made on the field, and they didn't have the time to look at it. Picked up by the officials. There's a tendency to get on the officials with the instant replay, but when they do something like a tough call, and they made it. Good.
And an unpopular call, too. Yeah. A lot of times it's easy to let that go.
Pressure on Haran. He gets it off. And Coleman takes it at the 37-yard line. 38 yards on the kick. Back in a moment.
With service to more cities across the Atlantic than any other U.S. airline, Delta now makes it easier than ever for the people of America to get to know the people of Europe.
Buongiorno.
Bonjour.
Sia.
Guten Tag.
Grüezi.
Здравствуйте.
Maybe your first car shouldn't be a car.
I was 18, didn't have a care, working for peanuts, not a dime to spare.
Get this Chevy S10 EL pickup with cash back for around $8,000. Chevrolet. The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
Like a rock, out growing stronger every day.
Snickers Bar, the official snack food sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Packed with fresh roasted peanuts, thick milk chocolate, and caramel, Snickers satisfies the hunger inside you. There's a hunger inside me. There's a hunger inside you.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last. By Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows. By the Prudential, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Budweiser, the beer with a taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Nothing beats a Bud.
We share the scenic wonders of the beautiful state of Colorado. And right now, the Denver Broncos have a scenic wonder, wondering what is happening to them. They're trailing 21-6 with 8:07 left to go in the first half. And Houston with the first down at their own 38-yard line. Gibbons is in motion. He is the only one of the Fab Four receivers not to have a touchdown. Boone throws, and this time it is Tony Jones, one of the backup receivers, who makes the catch. Speaking of the Fab Four,
you can see their seasonal numbers here. Combined catches here of 315, more than all of the Denver Bronco team combined. And look at their numbers today. They have not disappointed. As you mentioned, Gibbons the only one without a touchdown. Little Tony Jones there, who made the catch, he intersperses with Curtis Duncan. At 5'6.5", 139 pounds, all you mothers out there, don't worry about it. If your kid's a little bit small, you can play in this league.
It helps if you're fast and have good hands. And here is White, and he is driven back. He is met by Cragen. When we talked with Bruce Matthews yesterday, the center for the Oilers, he said one thing about playing across from Cragen: you're going to have to play the whole ball game, because he comes ready and he never lowers his intensity regardless of what else is happening.
Well, some of his teammates have to up their intensity, because on the drives thus far where Houston Oilers are concerned, we haven't seen Greg Montgomery. There you get a chance to look at Greg Cragen, the 7th-year veteran out of Logan, Utah. Take a look at the position. There we can see Carl Mecklenburg looking a little bit fatigued already.
Warren Moon, 14 of 16 already. He has thrown for 205 yards. Will have a false start. Moon has thrown for 3 touchdowns. 6.5 minutes left to go.
Prior to the snap, 63 offense. Second down.
Charlie, in the game that we had, that you and I actually broadcast, the first time the Houston-Denver game was, as you're going to see Mike Munchak with the flinch. In the first half, Warren Moon was 11 for 15 for 200 yards. And so I think everybody anticipated being here in Denver that things were going to change. That was clear back in October. That has no relevance to today.
Wrong. It's relevant. Again, 14 of 16, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns. Moon goes deep, double coverage. And it is intercepted by Steve Atwater. The ground then calls the fumble. They are ruling that he had possession. Gibbons is arguing it, but he's going to lose that argument.
At the end of the play, I really believe that Steve Atwater just laid the ball down and hoping that one of the defenders is going to pick it up. You're going to see he doesn't actually fumble the ball. This is the one bad pass that Warren Moon has had today. Now watch at the end. He's got it right there. He's got a hold of it. Oh, that's close.
I know that was it was kind of bobbling around on his stomach.
Actually, a very good athletic play by the 215-pounder. 5 interceptions this season, over 130 tackles. Steve Atwater was named All-Pro on AP and also Pro Bowl, but more importantly on my team at the end of the season.
Denver's in a hurry. They want to get the next playoff. That football like a wallaby on his stomach. Now they are going to review it.
Of course, this is the age-old argument. Did the ground cause the fumble, and did he have possession? It appeared that once he hit the ground that it was in his in the proverbial breadbasket, but we'll have another look from this angle.
Chuck Heberling, the replay official.
The pass was ruled late.
Is that possession right there?
On the field. It is being reviewed by replay.
It appeared that he had possession going down, and Jeffries, watch Jeffries, this is heads up trying to strip the ball away. Now he presses it to the 2. Does he have possession when he hits the ground? That's
questionable.
Very questionable.
You can go either way and be correct.
Difficult decision here on the part, as you mentioned, Chuck Eberle.
And so, usually in this case, the replay will not overrule the call on the field.
I think that when he had it to his chest there, when he was pressing it to the number 2.
And again, we're watching this in slow motion, so time is moves at a different tempo, you know, minutes like hours or hours
Once
like
his
minutes.
back hits the ground, it appears that the ball is pressed to the 2. I think that was a good call by the officials on the field.
And then again, he may not have had possession.
Well, they're taking the full 2 minutes to debate it.
Yeah.
Watch the right hand.
There.
He has it right there, but he hasn't hit the ground. Now, just as he hits the ground, the ball starts to come out. That's what Chuck Eberle has to look at prior to his hit.
After further review, the play stands.
Well, in a way, you could say that that's a break for the Denver Broncos, but of course they are on the 12-yard line, so if you're a Houston fan, you could argue that was as good as a punt.
Justice is served. Remember, Atwater had an interception earlier that was taken away by that penalty. Denver trailing 21-6.
Oh, no.
And they take a timeout.
They weren't in the right set. Coming out of a timeout, how can that happen? You have all the right people on the field. You've made the decision. Mistake by the Denver Broncos.
Back in a moment.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because the company that offers more models with standard anti-lock brakes than anyone also offers the lowest priced car in America with standard anti-lock brakes. Chevy Cavalier.
The heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
From Little Caesars, 2 pizzas, 2 Crazy Breads, plus 2 servings of Coke Classic, all for $7.98. It's enough food to make a family meal into a party.
January 18th is All-Star Saturday on NBC. First, it's Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and the greatest stars in hockey at the NHL All-Star Game. Then, celebrities from the worlds of sports and entertainment tee it up with the PGA's best at the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Hockey's All-Stars and stars of all sorts coming in 2 weeks to NBC Sports.
Denver with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Denver now with 2 timeouts remaining in the first half, and Houston with 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. Here's Gaston Green. The surge over the left side. He's going to pick up 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. Lee Williams in the tackle. Let's go back to what caused that last timeout.
Well, right here you can see Shannon Sharpe is not in the right position. Take a look at John Elway pointing him to the right and then pointing him back to the left. Now, where are you going? No. I gotta get over here someplace. Come on, get over there. Now Gaston Green moves. Now Shannon Sharpe moves. You can't understand it. We just have this play, for goodness sakes. He has to call timeout. Dan Reeves, needless to say, not terribly happy with him. Both jawing with one another on the sidelines.
Second down and 5. As Denver continues to stay on the ground. Gaston Green wanted to work out. He's certainly getting it, isn't he?
Well, one of the things that he also said he was proud of is the fact that at 5'11" and 192, he could run between the tackles. You see right at the end of the run, the ball comes loose, but fortunately for him, it comes right back. 10 carries for 43 yards thus far for the UCLA grad.
Steve Sewell is now the remaining back in this set of first down, and the pitch is to Sewell. He's going to throw it, and he does. The pass is complete, and out of bounds at the 35-yard line is a touchdown scoring pass Johnson, who told us he was going to be more involved in the game, that he was going to catch a lot of passes. When we asked Dan Reeves about it, he said, oh, he'll be involved. But I think he knew what he was talking about.
Steve Sewell is one of only 2 people this season to have rushed for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and thrown for a touchdown. Interestingly enough, you know who the other guy is? John Elway. Showing his versatility here. Not exactly the most difficult throw in the world, but gets the first down.
It is on target, though. First down, Denver, their own 35-yard line. Houston leading it 21-6. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Elway to throw. 4-man rush. Pass is complete at the Houston 45-yard line to Derek Russell. Johnson with the tackle, a gain of 20. And the Broncos are on the move for the second time in the ballgame.
One of Jim Eddy's concerns was the fact that number 23, Richard Johnson, was playing too soft. Look how far off he is, the rookie Derek Russell. That's too much to give a rookie, especially here. He runs the 20-yard in, and John Elway can certainly find that opening.
Said he was playing soft because of a lack of confidence. We asked, why didn't you replace him? Said it would have destroyed his confidence.
And the confidence of cornerbacks who are out there on an island is very fragile.
First down at the 45. Here is Green. Can't get around the corner as he is cut down by Bubba McDowell.
Bubba McDowell was named second-team All-Pro by the AP, and he is an outstanding safety. It's just unfortunate that he has to be in the same conference with the likes of Steve Atwater, Dennis Smith, Ronnie Lott, Duron Cherry, et al. But there was a man that in the first Denver game had 12 tackles, recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown, and blocked a field goal. And when we asked him, was that the best game that you've ever had, he said, yeah, it is.
Yeah, come to think of it. We asked him about the Pro Bowl safeties of the Broncos. He said they deserve it. Shannon Sharp. I'm wondering if this was the play that Elway wanted to run. Is a different formation.
Well, you know, it's interesting.
But this time Sharp was in the right spot.
Shannon Sharp, when we talked with him yesterday, I said, Shannon, you know, you had a couple of catches there at the end of the season. He says, Todd, you know what? He says, I'm 6'2", 230. He says, I want to be a pass-catching tight end, just like you.
He didn't like to block either, is that it?
Well, I told him that. I said, you know, if you keep catching the ball, people will know that you're something other than Sterling Sharp's little brother.
Oh, you got him again.
No.
Third down.
He understood.
Five-man rush pass is complete for the first down, 34-yard line to Michael Young. And what a season he has had, the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos. 2-minute warning. Houston 21, Denver 6. Back in a moment.
Hey, sports fans, get a ticket to Bud Bowl 4, and you could win $1 million cash.
$1 million bucks?
But you can't get that ticket just anywhere.
Bud Bowl tickets? Huh? Bud Bowl tickets.
Sorry.
Bud Bowl tickets?
Bud Bowl.
Bud Bowl tickets.
Pick up your ticket where you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft beer. And you just might be a winner.
Hey, guys, is this the line for... You know, it's not that important. Never mind.
Bud Bowl 4s. This time it's for $1 million.
Like a
Of all the trucks in its class, only Chevy S10 Blazer gives you four-wheel anti-lock brakes standard, which helps you steer through a curve while braking. Without it, you don't have as much control. And why should that be important to you? Because in the real world, safety doesn't have to be an option.
like a
Chevy trucks.
standing arrow straight.
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
In the spirit of the Olympic Games, the Postal Service would like to present... Two-day priority mail. That's delivery in just 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
Official sponsor of the 1992 Olympic Games.
Love her, hold her, and remember our simple formula. At Dean Witter,
we measure success one investor at a time.
The key to this play is Steve Sewell back here is going to pick up the corner blitz on the part of number 29, Darrell Lewis. He actually comes across the formation. Otherwise, number 29 is going to sack Elway. Nice job by Steve Lewis in recognition. And do you think it's very tough to be a receiver out there? Take a look at the elbow that Michael Young takes from Lamar Lathan as he snatches the ball away, imploring to the official that it's Oilers ball.
Elway, 5 of 7, 49 yards, and a touchdown. To the 11-yard line, Ricky Natillo. 23 yards, first down.
Once again, too far off, but really this is Bo Orlando's play. He has to be reading John Elway. Look at how far off Richard Johnson is, but where's Bo Orlando in the middle of the field? Has to come over and make that play. Bo Orlando arrives late. Johnson, expecting inside help, doesn't get it.
First down, just outside the 11-yard line. 1:27 and counting. Time remaining. First half. Little shuttle pass underneath to Shire. 4-yard line. That may have been the play that they wanted to call at the other end when he was in the wrong set. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Don't miss this.
To an engineer, Chevy Lumina APV is corrosion-proof polyurea body panels, molded ballistic cup resilience, modular seating for 7, computer-modulated anti-lock brakes. But to them all, the Chevy Lumina APV is a lot of innovation that makes her life
You guys are great.
a lot easier. No wonder more people depend on it.
Heartbeat of America.
And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
You need Arid Double X protection to help keep you extra, extra dry. And look, it's the only leading solid that doesn't leave a white, flaky mess.
Arid Double X helps keep us extra.
Extra dry.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful, compact, but what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds. But what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD... Go away!
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
This year in Lake Edna, the best place to watch the big game was Al's Discount TV and Appliance Emporium. Knowing a good deal, Al got some KFC Super Buckets. He got 15-piece buckets, variety buckets with 3 kinds of chicken, and jumbo buckets of 36 hot wings, just $9.99 each. Everyone went home happy, especially Clara Campbell, who bought a juicer at halftime. New KFC Super Buckets, just $9.99. A great deal in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Number 79, Ray Childers, the great defensive tackle for the Oilers. That back is bothering him again. He is now out of that defensive set. He has 4 tackles and 1 pass defender.
And one of those tackles is for a loss, and that man right there has got to be a little bit frustrated because I think that's one of the reasons why the Broncos are driving so well is number 79 is not in the game.
See, Chad, he told us also that they want to have a contain rush on Elway.
Doesn't everybody? Easier said than done.
Second and short, 4-yard line. Elway throws to a 1-yard line. Flag is down in the end zone.
We can catch Chris Dishman for defensive holding. Here's an interesting point that I wanted to make at that last play. Assuming that the Broncos get in the end zone, I thought with 1:11 that they had plenty of time to get up there and do what it is they wanted to do. What happens now is with the defensive holding of Dishman, now if they get it at the 1-yard line, regardless of what they want to do, if they score on, say, the first play, then there's going to be time left for the Houston offense.
Holding, 28 defense is declined. First down.
Chris Dishman, all-pro cornerback this year. You can see he's going to get tangled up with Russell. Now watch Russell push off. He knows he's going to the outside. That's ticky-tack. You got to give the corner that much of an edge. That's ticky-tack. You never saw the jersey get pulled out. Dishman, 6 interceptions, 7 straight games this season where he had a turnover.
Keith Traylor, the linebacker, is the lead blocker. Greg Lewis, the ball carrier, the rookie, from Central Oklahoma, number 54, Keith Traylor, 6'2", 260 pounds. In that set is the fullback. The reason is Robert Perryman, as you know, out a few weeks ago because of that knee injury.
Well, that's all well and good, but he didn't do the job that time. Al Smith and company came in and stuffed the offensive line of the Denver Broncos.
But now, one thing is happening that you were talking about is that the clock now is moving.
And they have a second down. They have plenty of time.
They don't want Warren Moon and company on the field in the second half if they can help it. But Moon will have 39 seconds. Denver scores.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal celebration, 89 offense. A 5-yard penalty will be kicked off on the kickoff.
Now that's the second time we've had that penalty in this ball game. This is a divisional playoff game. Let's get rid of that rule.
Well, I agree with you.
I mean, that's crazy.
But the one that gets me is, wasn't it Greg Lewis that scored the touchdown?
That's right. Yes, he should celebrate.
What's Reggie Johnson doing?
I don't know. It just shows you that Greg Lewis is smarter than Richie Johnson.
I guess.
Here's the extra point, and remember, they missed the last one. It's a high snap. But Kubiak brings it down, and we've got flags flying.
It was from the back, Judge. Maybe Houston had too many people on the field.
And we still have those 39 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, if this is something that's assessed on the kickoff and it went against Houston, then it'll even out. They'll kick off from the 35, right?
Here's the call.
12 men on the field. Defense. The extra point is good. The penalty will be marched off on the kickoff. Both penalties will be assessed from the kickoff.
So now does this mean they go back to the 30, make the motion, and then come all the way back to the 35? Very demonstrative. Take a look at the lead block by Keith Traylor. Does he do the job this time? Is he ready to move to the offensive side of the ball? Watch number 54 coming in on the other 54. Well, he gets stuffed in the hole, but he occupies Al Smith long enough for Greg Lewis to fall over for the 6 points. That's one of the most competitive men I have ever met, Dan Reeves.
The kickoff from the 35, high and short. Coleman takes it at the 15. Trips a tackle at the 20. Clock continues to move as he is finally down at the 22-yard line. Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Domino Pizza's NFL Live halftime report. Bob, Bill, Will, and O.J. will be along with the first half analysis, along with interviews with some of the Washington Redskins talking about their victory over the Atlanta Falcons, as well as a preview of tomorrow's big game between the Bills and the Chiefs. And that's all coming up at halftime. And in case you missed it earlier, Washington defeated the Falcons 24-7 in the rain in the nation's capital.
Now, because of the fact that they had the short kickoff, if they would have had a little bit better return, I think they would have gone for it with 32 seconds left. But I'd be very surprised here if the Houston Oilers don't just sit on it, go into halftime content with an 8-point lead. Then again, I could be wrong.
Goes back to the other side to Curtis Duncan. Duncan down at the 25-yard line, as you know by now.
See, this doesn't.
Brown cannot cause a
This
fumble.
doesn't make any sense. You've got the momentum. You know, even though Denver has scored, you've got a little bit momentum here. Hand the ball one time to Lorenzo White and get the thing over with. Now they don't even have to have a play. Why are they coming up? They're not going to score in the last 15 seconds.
Hurry up offense from the 25. Moon bobbled the exchange, throws sideline. Duncan out of bounds, stops the clock with 6 seconds.
This just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it doesn't. Unless Warren has some sort of clause in his contract for yards in the first half, there's 6 seconds left. The only thing that can happen here is bad, and that's if they get it picked off. Denver could turn right around and kick a field goal. This certainly shows the confidence that Kevin Gilbride and Jack Pardee have in number 1.
And also it shows the fact that this is their offense. And they feel very confident about throwing the football. It's a long handoff. Trips, 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. White. Just across the 40-yard line, and that will run out the time in the first half. Denver with the momentum at the end of the first half, but they trail 21-13.
I think the Houston Oilers had it early, but certainly that touchdown by Denver has to give them some momentum heading into the second half.
We look forward to the second half, but right now let's go to New York and Bob Costas. Bob?
All right, Charlie, coming up now on the Domino's Pizza Halftime Report, we'll bring you highlights and player reaction from the Redskins' win over the Falcons. We'll have first half analysis of the Oilers and Broncos from Bill, Will, and OJ, and we'll preview tomorrow's other AFC Divisional Playoff in Buffalo between the Bills and the Chiefs. We'll get started right after this message from the NFL and the proverbial word from your local stations.
The National Football League is concerned about many of the problems that affect our youth. Drugs, malnutrition, and the quality of education that they receive. That's why the NFL, through NFL Charities, has joined other business leaders to support America 2000, a community-based voluntary effort to create a new generation of American schools. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
The people in our league are local and national leaders who want to see that today's students receive the best possible education. That's why NFL Charities is involved.
The Denver Broncos have worked in partnership with the public sector, private business, and local volunteers to help our children. We have recently been involved with Colorado 2000, a statewide strategy to transform our schools into the best in the world.
Improving our nation's schools and educating tomorrow's leaders. That's the task before us. I'm confident that NFL Charities can help achieve that goal.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
They're mean. They're under the damn ground. They're here. Where do they come from? Out of brown space. They're hungry.
This valley is just one long smorgasbord.
And they won't stop until they bring home the bacon. Kevin Bacon, Reba McEntire, Fred Ward. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside. Tremors coming to NBC Sunday, January 12th.
Don't forget the big screen TVs. It's January clearance time at the Wiz, and the warehouse is jumping. We're moving all our merchandise into our stores before inventory. Get the camcorders on. Everything's going. Every brand, every model. Everything from VCRs to cellular phones, video movies, cassettes, and compact discs. The best thing is we're slashing prices on hundreds of items. We want to sell them, not count them. The January in-store warehouse clearance sale. Nobody beats the Wiz.
You know, I'm tired of hearing American cars can't compete. Says who? Danny? Ha! Give me a break. The people who know say Ford Taurus is more car than Honda Accord. Taurus has more power, more room, and more available safety features like anti-lock brakes. And Taurus offers 2 airbags, his and hers. I say that's a lot more car for the money.
Now get cash back or low financing on a new Ford Taurus.
Go on, do it. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer and see for yourself.
Subway's vigilante, Bernard Getz. Now it can be told.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
Okay, the Oilers leading the Broncos by the score of 21-13 at the half. Denver with a missed extra point in case you missed it. Moon with the 3 touchdown passes for Houston. For more on the first half, back to Denver. Here's OJ. Juice?
Well, Bob, I had a chance to talk to Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator of the Broncos, and say, well, what are you going to do to slow this Houston team down in the second half? He says, OJ, our game plan is working. We're doing pretty much what we want to do. He said, we want to be like buzzards. We're going to be patient and hopefully get a couple of turnovers. He said, we got 2 turnovers, but they got one of them back because of a penalty. In the second half, we got to get at least 2 more turnovers, and maybe we can turn this thing around. I also had a chance to talk to Ray Childress going off the field. He said it wasn't his cracked ribs that was bothering him. It's his lower back. You'll see when he blocked that pass, he really wasn't putting much pressure on the quarterback. He has a lower back problem. His words is, I won't return in the second half, but they're going to put a heat pad on it when he gets in the locker room, and maybe there's a chance he will come back. But at this point, Ray Childress is not coming back, Bob.
O.J., thanks. We'll check with you throughout the day. Houston with the 21-13 lead. As O.J. said, they got the 1 interception, Denver did, and Steve Atwater got it. But perhaps the turning point of the game, we may look back on this, is the one he had, which was negated by the penalty.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They, you know, that was a big play, and that's what Denver has to do to stop Houston, because they haven't proved that they can stop them without making turnovers. You know, Moon has moved the ball. They just got to hope that he'll make some mistakes like this and they can capitalize on it.
But this one was a 14-point swing, at least potentially. And look how long the run back is by Atwater. They would have been in field goal range at least. Maybe they could have scored a touchdown. Instead, yardage was tacked on because of the roughing the passer call, and shortly after that, they cashed in with another touchdown pass to Curtis Duncan. It became 21-6 instead of maybe 14-13.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem here for Denver has been the inability to stop basically the Houston's offense. You just can't rely on the turnover. You got to execute some plays. Now, they put a guy in motion here, which gives Moon an idea of whether it's man-to-man or zone. Basically, they want to create 2 receivers on one side, 2 receivers on the other side to spread the field automatically. That'll dictate man or zone. You can see easily by the way the Denver secondary follows, it's an easily readable zone for Warren Moon. You see the guy just trotting across casually. Moon knows it's a zone. He looks front side. He comes back. He finds the receivers. Unless Denver does something about this, Bob, it's going to be a long day.
Okay, now we've got one entrant in next Sunday's NFC Championship game. The Washington Redskins beat the Atlanta Falcons early today at RFK in a steady downpour. The score was 24-7. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Playing mind games, Jerry Glanville doesn't just send captains, he sends the entire team out for the opening toss of the coin, and then he tries to use a Redskin helmet to fire his team up. But what counts is what happens on the field, and through the slop, here goes Ricky Irvins for an early touchdown run of 16 yards, puts them up 7-0. Atlanta turned the ball over 6 times today. Miller was sacked 4 times. They fumbled twice, and he also threw 4 interceptions. This one is picked off by the veteran Monty Coleman. That was the 4th of the 4 interceptions, and sealed their fate in the 4th quarter. And look, they rub it in. John Brandis celebrating the victory.
A run-and-shoot offense in a weather like this, just like a gun with 1 bullet, you know, it's enabled us to really be us, because our offense, they've done a great job considering, you know, the weather factor. And that's all we do is pass. That's the downfall about having an offense like that.
An opportunity was there for us to shock the world, and, you know, and we didn't do it.
All right, so the Redskins will play either the Cowboys or the Lions next Sunday. How did they do this year against those teams? Well, they beat the Cowboys in Dallas in a close Monday night game early, 33-31, then lost at home Week 13 to the Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Skins crushed the Lions 45-0, but remember, that was Week 1. Barry Sanders did not play for Detroit, Will.
Let me say one thing first before we go on about what McKyer and Sanders said. You know, Houston's getting a great break with the weather in Denver today. But back to Washington. During the week, I was talking to Joe Bugle, the coach of the Cardinals, who's very, very familiar with what they do in Washington. He said in the offseason, Joe Gibbs did a brilliant thing. Knowing he was going to play 3 run-and-shoot teams during the regular season, he brought in run-and-shoot experts from all around the country to Washington for a week, getting ready to defense the run-and-shoot. Look at the results. 4 games against run-and-shoot teams have only given up 9 points a game. When the run-and-shoot teams play everybody else, they average 22.7 points per game. A swing of 14 points. So they have done a brilliant job. And if I were Washington, I'd say, bring on Detroit. We'd like to play another run-and-shoot team the way they play the run-and-shoot teams this year.
Yeah, tomorrow's Detroit-Dallas game, even though Detroit beat them soundly early in the year, that's rated pretty much a toss-up. But you got to believe, as Will says, if you're the Redskins, you would rather see Detroit come to RFK than a Dallas team you barely beat in their place and that did beat you in your place.
Yeah, but you know why?
Why?
Because Detroit has never won in RFK. They've played there 15 times, and the last time Detroit beat, Detroit beat the Redskins, they were the Boston Redskins, and Will was covering that team back in 1927.
It was 1927?
I think so.
1935 was the year I was born, Bob, but I remember the game well.
Well, we'll have more on that when the McDonough and Parcells sagas continue at a later date. When we come back, we'll preview tomorrow's other AFC Divisional Playoff between Kansas City and Buffalo. But first, these messages from your local station.
When American drug agents landed in Colombia, they had one mission: to take out the world's most powerful cocaine cartel. This is the story of their war and their victory. Drug Wars, the Cocaine Cartel, on NBC, January 19th.
We have a new attitude for serving customers. You have to make people feel good about coming into your place.
People come in, they want to see a friendly face, so I give them a smile.
Prices are low down. Regular hamburger, 59 cents.
Sometimes I tell people the price and they say, that's it. Cheeseburger, 69 cents.
Sausage biscuit,
79 cents.
breakfast burrito, 99 cents. We are there to perform and to do it right. We want to keep them coming back. That's what it's all about.
Subway's vigilante, Bernard Getz. Now it can be told.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
Okay, the winner of today's Houston-Denver game will play the winner of tomorrow's Kansas City-Buffalo game in next Sunday's AFC Championship. The Bills and Chiefs met back in Week 6 on a Monday night when the tomahawk chop was at the height of its craze. Marv Levy was a little crazed as well. His Bills entered the game at 5-0, but nothing went right. Both Christian Okoye and Harvey Williams ran for over 100 yards, and the Chiefs marched through a Buffalo defense playing without Bruce Smith and Jeff Wright. Jim Kelly was sacked 6 times, 4 of them by Derek Thomas. The Bills lost 5 fumbles, too, as the Chiefs handed Buffalo their worst defeat of the year.
It was just one of those games that every bounce, everything went their way, and it's one of those ones, forget about it.
They'll remember that game, and I'm sure that, you know, they'll look over the film in that game just as we will look over the film and understand and realize that wasn't the Buffalo team that everybody is used to seeing.
I don't think after they played us that game, they really haven't been consistent with the way they played throughout the rest of the year. I think we've been more consistent the way we've played. You know, we didn't have Jeff Wright or Bruce Smith then, so you know, we got our players back, and we're a different team right now.
All right, what do you think?
I think Buffalo's going to win the ball game, Bob. I think that they're very tough to beat at home. They'll have the crowd going for them, which will be a big advantage.
I think the Kansas City running game, which is really a half a running game because it's inside the tackles, is going to have to do it for the Chiefs tomorrow if they're going to have any chance.
Now, granted, they got questions about the bird, but I think Kansas City, while not likely to win, has a better chance to beat them than either the Oilers or Denver.
I agree with you.
All right, on that rare note of agreement, we'll send you back for the second half kickoff from Mile High Stadium right after this message.
This winter, sports' biggest stars are on NBC. Michael leads the world champs against Isaiah and the Pistons. Detroit heads to Boston to battle Larry Bird and the Celtics. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Bulls take on the Lakers. And a day of shooting stars at the All-Star Game. The NBA's just beginning on NBC. Come fly with us.
It is halftime.